Your mom wouldn't holler. Your mom wouldn't.
Hello. One sec. Let me figure out how much time I got left. Oh, fuck. I can't check, because Life 360 is on the phone. That's fine, whatever. I'm just gonna try to keep my ear out for if people come back. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water and then I'm gonna actually start. But hello. I'm back. And it's been, like, not super long. 2 weeks, maybe? 3? Since the last time that I did this. And as you can tell, people are out of the house again. Well, I mean, you can't tell that, but I'm just telling you that. Sorry, I moved the mic. Okay, water. ASMR again. I've embraced it at this point. I'm actually slightly medicated, though. I think I'm coming down from my medicines. So, I might be a little here and there. And also, I was thinking about actually doing a USMLE, like, study session video thing. But then I was like, oh wait, no one's home, so let me just do a reflection video instead. Because I have been wanting to do one. I know it's not been as long, but since my last one, but like, I think I feel like my brain and sense of self exponentially grow. So like, there's always been stuff happening that I'm always like, I feel like I could record one of these every single day and still have a bunch of stuff to yap about, but I think the nice thing about not doing that is I don't get burnt out, it stays fun, and I can, like, actually get, like, the major stuff instead of just, like, everything, you know? Like, force myself to be a little more concise. Sorry, my back really— why am I saying sorry? Okay, fuck that. I'm not sorry, but— because if you're here, that's of your own accord. But my back has really been hurting today, and it's always kind of a little tough, I think, at home when I have days where my body's just like kicking my butt, because I try not to complain about it, and that in turn leads to me being more frustrated internally, like in like an overstim way, and then I just like avoid people so that I'm like not being a bother, but that doesn't exactly, it's not like a perfect solution, so I'm working on that. So if my voice is shaky, it's just because my back is like so fucked up. Like, I'm not able to get a good breath, and it's not like a lung thing, it's more like when I get like a knot in a specific spot, I just like taking a really deep breath kind of hurts, but I need to keep doing it to relieve the knot. And I also think that it's just partly kind of some new growing pains with being on the T, testosterone, for anyone. Oh my god. My voice is definitely noticeably, like, deep. And or like deeper than before, and I don't know if my family just thinks I've been smoking too much or something, but we still haven't really completely talked about it yet, and I haven't watched the last video that I did in, like, well, since I posted it, I think. So I'm kind of blanking on exactly what I said right now, because of course it's just the, like, there's a hyper awareness of every word that's coming out of my mouth the second I turn on the camera and I'm talking to the mic, which is a good thing. I think some people have that and then they like try to turn it off, which is what kind of leads to like a lot of content creation culture. And that's the thing, is like, this is going to be content for some people, but it's not with the intent of being content. It's just a space for myself, because I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned throughout the last couple years of my life is just like, I'm allowed to take up fucking space, and, this is part of it. And out of all the things on the internet, I think some of the things that I'm putting out there are not the worst. Like, it's definitely not a net negative impact, which I can live with, Obviously I hope to have a positive impact on whatever I put out, but it's more it's kind of like it's not intended to just be positive. It is somewhat neutral for myself with a net positive. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. The AC just turned off. But I can definitely feel that like my collarbones have gotten a little longer, or like not longer. Fuck. Like my shoulders have gotten broader, and they were already broad, and I think that like just like the adjustments and stuff throughout the day, I'm like figuring it out, and I still feel like I have more energy. Like I haven't. Oh, that's something I wanted to complain about. I've been having a lot of trouble getting my meds refilled. Insurance won't fix the prior authorization thing, and I'm still working on it. So it's been like months since I've had a full refill, and my psych, I met with her last week, and she was like, can you just pay out of pocket? Like, do you want me to just try to do that? And I was like, yeah, but it wasn't like the one that went to pick them up, so like my parents didn't pick them up, and I don't know if they had it. I need to like figure that out. And I'm like about to run out of mine, and let's just say I had some that I have saved from like way back when. I'm trying to think about how to say this without breaking laws, you know? Like, it's not that I broke a law, but like, what the fuck am I saying? Okay, hang on, let me rephrase that. I am not breaking laws. Or, well, I am not breaking laws, right? Because who would do that? Because laws are always justified, right? There we go. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so you're supposed to like discard stimulant medicine or return it if you've finished, or like whatever, like certain dates and stuff. So those are the current regulations. So let's just say I have my like emergency 5, and I'm like about to tap into that, which kind of sucks because there's a certain amount of anxiety I get about like, oh no, like once it's like completely out, if I have like a really like taxing day that I feel like I need, like, I don't know, it's rough because like like today for example I took meds yesterday and today, and like both days I've actually done so much and been like more able to deal with the like body aches and just like background emotional stress of having not completely talked to my family about everything yet. So, you know, it's like I'm very at peace with the fact that I don't always, and I may not always have access to the things that I have access to. Like, the fucking apocalypse could happen tomorrow. Like, not that it's going to, but like, you know, it's like, I do try to remind myself that there was once a time where I didn't have all the medicines that I have access to. And so I'm kind of at peace with the fact that like, well, it could get taken away at any point because like I'm not the one in control of my access to anything, and like stimulant med struggles really remind me of that and humble me all the time. But at the same time, it's just, I try to take it now as like this opportunity to slow down and take care of myself, because I recognize that like, dude, if the stimulant medication actually works, it means you non-negotiably have the condition that, you know, it helps with. So stop telling yourself that you don't, which is not something that I do anymore. I'm very like, yeah, I have a neurodivergent brain, you know? I'm pretty comfortable with being like, I have ADHD, or like, I don't have autism diagnosed, so I don't want to like be like, I have it, you know, like diagnosed. But I think it's fairer to say that like I definitely think I fall under the back bracket of AUDHD, you know, like and an autism diagnosis is something that I would actually seek out. But I think it's just so well masked that like even my current psych, she says a lot of times, and this is why I didn't share my YouTube channel with my psych, even though she was like, oh, that's cute, you should show me that, you know, and like it was supportive, but like I was like, no, it's just for me right now. But like even it kind of sucks because it's like I feel like she gives me neurodivergent vibes, but she's from a generation where like I don't know, like I mean she's a psych, you know, so like who am I to say shit? But It is. It sucks when people who have the power to diagnose you are like, nah, you don't have that. Because, like, I'm not in a place right now where I feel like pushing on that with her. But I know I could at some point, and I probably should. But, like, one thing at a time, and right now I just want to have my fucking stimulant meds regularly, especially with school starting up. It's definitely been... It's been interesting trying to, like, reframe the mindset every time I get frustrated with, like, the systematic issue. Because then I'm like, oh, like, everybody's fucking dealing with this shit. Like, almost everyone has some kind of fucking medication that they're using or maybe not using insurance for, and then regardless having to deal with, like, getting it and prescriptions and all this stuff, you know? Like, there's a lot of things that are not easy for people that are way less able to, like, be okay with the time that this is taking for me, you know? Like, it does suck that it's like I know that I could put more energy towards kind of getting it done sooner, and now I finally will be, especially because I'm talking about it. That's the thing, is, like, this is also, like, an accountability thing for me, because I'm kind of talking to, like, a future version of myself, and I know that future version of myself would be like, damn, if it's been, like, another couple months and this is still the case, you know? And I can't, because I have school starting up, right? So there is, like, a genuine deadline in my head of, like, I need to get more. So it's just a matter of, like, a couple steps that I've already outlined. So, for example, I thought it would be cool to doc that out, because I think sometimes people just, like, I mean, we get so frustrated in this, like, idea that, like, everything's against us sometimes when shit like this happens, but it's like, it's just everyone dealing with their own problems and systematic issues and human world problems. Like, we built these systems, so we built the problems that we need to patch, right? So, knowing the kind of brain that I have, knowing that motivation won't come until I initiate the process, I just kind of have to oftentimes, like, break down the steps and just slowly walk through them and do shit in between, because it's more the shame and the guilt, or the, like, fuck this shit of the process and having to just be, like, in it, that sucks more than actually doing the things on the checklist, you know? And it's something that I think I'm getting better at, like, over the course of years since college, basically. So, like, think, like, 6-7 years of the last couple years of my life, like, being a teenager, growing into a young adult, and now being almost no, not middle-aged, but, like, that's not what I was gonna say. But, like, I was gonna say, like, middle, young adult, like, but that still sounds, I think, older than what I'm trying to say. Whatever. But point is, like, it's so much easier to, like, keep working on being nice to myself and actually caring about, like, my dreams. And when I say I mean, like, I mean, I already said my name in a previous thing and I didn't edit it out. I think it was the last one. So, like, I might as well keep saying it, but I guess I'll stop it if I don't need it, you know? Like, but at this point I'm kind of like, whatever. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So, you can tell that the meds are wearing off. Well, you might not be able to, but the me that's watching this in the future or whatever, as if it would be from the past, but who knows? Okay. So I was trying to say, like, I was gonna talk about the checklist, right? And trying to do that and just be patient with myself basically helps. Because it's like, I mean, fuck, I'd be patient with anybody else except for myself, so why not be a little more patient with myself? Okay, so I gotta call the pharmacy. I already checked, right? So tomorrow's Thursday. I can call them. We have, like, a religious ritual thing. It's funny because I think I did this right after that recently. Like I did one. Whatever. There's a Ganesh puja tomorrow, and I am actually very excited for it because the vibes are a little bit different with the family this time. It's not as stressful. Which is interesting because I had just for the first time really admitted the stress of that to a friend, like, outside of my partner that's, like, brown. And this friend is, like, so much more immersed in, like, religious, like, scheduling in their life. So it felt like kind of like, oh shit, am I gonna like embarrass myself by admitting that sometimes I like dread when these things are coming up in the house? Not because of the spiritual aspect as much now, at least because I have more of my own spiritual whatever, you know, like it's not like it genuinely it's always come from a place of the heart, but I think sometimes I was like still figuring my own shit out, right? So now things are different, and on top of that, I can kind of like be at peace with the fact that my family's always going to be more like just traditional for the sake of the traditions than I might appreciate myself, you know? But because it makes them happy, I can find joy in that. And like I don't have forever with them. I don't have forever in this house, you know, we're trying to fucking move out of here, and like they're trying to go across the world to retire, so, you know, I'm just trying to enjoy everything as it goes. And I think practicing that mindfulness like all the time, and like just having my breaks from consciousness be enjoying the stories of other people, whether it's like books or movies or songs or whatever, like audio, just trying to like enjoy being myself and being alive, and then finding some purpose in just that, and just being like, fuck, like I'm aware of the fact that I'm alive, and that means that I like genuinely get to enjoy it. Like I am the person that controls whether I get to be happy or not at the end of it. Like if I choose to be like, fuck it, I'm happy, I can genuinely just be chill and happy. And like that's a weird, I heard the door open. It's a weird thing to have unlocked, you know? Like being at peace with yourself. Especially because, you know, you're like, we're surrounded, and I'm saying like me and me future. I'm just surrounded by a lot of people that are not. So it does also give me purpose to feel like maybe that can rub off, you know? Like not everybody's looking for answers from you, but maybe just by being happy, you can help other people find their happiness. Straight up, you know? Like I thought that the only way to help other people was to literally help them, and I'm learning, especially being at home as not a 6-year-old, that I'm not a 6-year-old. I can just fuck off and go do what I need to do to be happy, you know, and I can be okay with the fact that not everybody understands that, you know, especially with how much I fucking crochet and knit these days. Like I didn't process how much I was like stopping myself from doing art and creative things, and things that seemed autistic basically, or just like even lazy or too feminine sometimes, because it was like a dysphoric thing, which is something I'll talk about later, because it's not feminine to do arts and crafts. That's not the point of what I'm saying, but more of like a younger me thing. Anyways, back to the pharmacy. Call the pharmacy, check if they did get the prescription. If they did, are they willing to fill it, and can I pay out of pocket with a good RX coupon or something? Those are my steps, you know? And if I can get that far, then I will have some more meds for the next month to figure the shit out with the insurance, and hopefully by the next time, well, not by the next time I'm doing this, but I'm very distracted by people being back now. I'll just lean a little bit closer. I don't know. I'll wrap this up though, because I am kind of tired, and 20-minute mark seems to be nice for little check-ins so that I don't get burned out. I mean, I know I might sound silly saying that a lot, but like it's coming from someone who, like, I recognize that even though this isn't labeled for younger audiences, when you put something on the internet, younger people may come across it. And I do try to keep an awareness of that all the time, because I think that's just kind of part of being an adult, is like you like, regardless of whether children are directly in your life or not, you occupy a world that children also occupy, and you don't need to feel responsible for it, but it is a nice thing to just like be aware of, because like when you get to the point where, if you're like me and you're just like, everybody is the same space juice soul, and we are all Morty. The episode, we are all Morty. from Rick and Morty, obviously. Maybe not obviously, I don't know. But we're all Morty. And if you genuinely live and breathe that, which I want to say that I do, but I think there's always room to grow in that sense, you know? I think I'm just getting started on that shit, even though it feels amazing to feel that we are Morty. We are all Morty, you know? But when I feel that, it's just kind of nice to be like, okay, well, a younger version of me, who is also Morty just like me, could come across my shit, and I'd want to just be able to, like, you know, like I said in the previous video, just give that safe space and comfort and just, like, fuck, dude, we're alive. Cheers to us. You know, I said to a friend, like, this was a couple weeks ago, a new friend, who I hope to continue to stay friends with, super cool person. I was like, she vapes nicotine a lot, and fuck it, life is short. I am a cannabista. Something I will talk about a lot more in the future, but that's part of why I think I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with anonymity, even though this may seem so silly. It's like, I know that this won't be anonymous forever. This is just, removing some information from my digital footprint, because you don't get as much just, like, free footage of every aspect of my face and, you know, decent quality. Like, AI is the problem, and I do want to be creative with my face, but I think I just like to limit it, you know? I don't think you need my face for everything. I really don't think you need it, but I'll give it to you for some shit, you know, like the little autofilmography thing that I'm working on. My face is in it, you know? So I'm kind of like, okay, well, when I put that out, then fuck, not just my face, you know, like, so much more shit that a younger version of me would have been like, what? Can't believe you did that. But here I am, you know, like, ever changing, ever flowing, ebbing, glowing. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, long story short, what I was trying to say to that friend, because they vape and I also vape, just not nicotine, because I think knowing my brain, I think I would just like to stay away from it, especially because it seems like it is likely to, in research, seem to be more carcinogenic than cannabis smoke. And I'm saying that with a grain of salt. Of course, take it with a grain of salt, right? But, like, everything is everything when you put it in your fucking lungs. But what I said to her was, a lot more of life is about not killing yourself than people seem to realize or want to admit. And that, I think sometimes, I really enjoy when I say something to someone and it just fucking comes from, like, the soul, and then it just stays in my own head, like my own lesson. I really enjoy that. My consciousness really enjoys that, and I think a lot of people do. I think it happens more often than we like to realize or admit, because it's like, shit, sometimes saying things out loud is the first time we get to hear this thing, because it's only been in our head, or, like, never even phrased into a sentence, just a feeling, you know? And that's part of what I like about doing these. It's like, it's just, I get to free flow, and I free flow in my brain so much, but it isn't just one singular voice. The voices, they go fucking crazy. And the stimulant meds also really help my brain just one-track mind a little more, which helps. But I do really enjoy as well the dissonance of being unmedicated in between, because I do feel like there's a lot of creativity that kind of festers in my, like, not mental illness, but mental chemical imbalances or fluctuation. There we go. I think some of my like different ways that I use my brain or skills, hobbies, tend to sometimes depend on whether I am taking meds or not, what fucking part of my cycle I'm on, because of the fact that I will just be more tired at one point than not, and that's something that has changed a lot being on T, I'm just a lot more energetic all the time. And I definitely still feel like I think there's the week that I believe that I'm sort of PMSing, I think I am still a little bit more tired. Because it's not like I'm not ovulating, you know. So I think it's less that I'm like, oh, there's a period, and more that like I'm noticing a slight lack of that energy boost that is also added with the tea when you're like in ovulation week. I don't know, just theories, just thoughts. Not just theories, but like anecdotal basically. And it's not that anecdotal things are not useful, but I think it's fair to point it out because I think a lot of things that I want to talk about are anecdotal, but people should remember that it's anecdotal because that's kind of something that I think is lacking in like internet information consumption, is understanding like when is someone saying something that is like researched or fucking peer reviewed and shit, or anecdotal or culturally like based knowledge. Like there's so many different ways for information to feel valid or be considered valid or labeled valid, and I think it's just important for people to work on being more critical of how they consume and like organize information in their head as they're taking it in. You know, like where do you want to, like, oh, this person's saying something to me, so this is more anecdotal, but seems to come with some amount of information from maybe this area of expertise of theirs or whatever it is, you know. I should really shut up now. Otherwise I'm gonna keep fucking talking. So yeah, I'll just cut it off there, and eventually when I edit this I will figure out what else I want to yap about for next time, because there's always more that I want to yap about. But fuck man, I'm alive, I get to do this, and Chidanandarupa, you know, like I am nothing but just getting to be here in the moment, as are all of you. And the more that we remember that, the more chill and happy and simultaneously motivated and purpose-filled we will be. Like, it's fucking crazy and cool, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, that's all. I love you. Bye-bye. Don't kill yourself. I love you. Like, it would be very shitty of you to do that to me as your loved one, you know? That way, I'm not gonna guilt trip you into not killing yourself, but like, like don't, you know? There doesn't have to be light at the end of the tunnel, dude. You can just check your pocket. There might be a lighter, and you can just and light your way forward. Was that inspiring? Fuck. Whatever. Okay. I don't think I'm doing a You World session as well, obviously. That's not necessarily obvious, but like, especially because there are people back. So I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna knit. There's a scarf thing in there that I'm working on. I could grab it, but I'm too lazy. I'll show you, why not? Okay, here, one sec. So the scarf is old, but, or not old, but like I did it a while ago. I'm just adding like this fringe thing. And I know it looks kind of silly right now, like microvilli in the small intestine, but there's more getting added to it. I do enjoy the look of a crochet border. I just wanted it to be able to hold open wider because it is ribbed, so it like compresses. This is the inside of your body, bitch. This is what fascia looks like. I'm sorry, I'm addicted to my field of study, like, genuinely. I try not to bore you guys, but you know, I can't help but mention fascia. It's just a reminder that everything is connected. We all connected. Damn, that's deep. Oh, also, I've been watching a lot of The Boys. Okay, I will really shut up now. It's like 30 minutes. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of The Boys, and I want to yap about it so much. So that will come in the future, and I think that's a fantastic place to end it. So bye.